Rogers TV.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Laurabel, and we have a great show in line for you today. We get to chat with Jess Jones from the YMCA about the Entrepreneurship Olympics and all that Y is doing to support entrepreneurs here in our province. After that, we get to sit with Lori Ross, who is a pelvic floor health physiotherapist, and we're talking all about some pelvic floor health questions, answers, and how we keep ourselves stronger and healthier this year. So sit back, relax, and we'll get right to it. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Jess Jones, who is part of the YMCA. Jess, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Laurabel.
I'm so excited to have you here because you and I have gotten a chance to connect in community, but I want our audience to know who Jess Jones is and what your role is with the YMCA.
Absolutely. So I'm Jess Jones, pronouns she, her. I am the new business consultant at the YMCA of Newfoundland and Labrador, and I'm responsible for all things entrepreneurship at the YMCA. I formerly started as the program coordinator for the Enterprise Olympics program.
Okay, so I think it's super cool that the Y has a business program. When people typically think Y, they think the big building, the gym, childcare, but not entrepreneurship. So how long has this entrepreneurship aspect of the YMCA been a thing?
That's a really good point. So a lot of folks, like you said, when they think of the Y, they think of the gym, and we're so much more than that. So we are a nonprofit charitable organization that's been around for over 160 years. I'm a part of a team that we call the EANS team, which is the Employment, Enterprise, and Newcomer Services team, and we offer a wide range of free programs to different folks in the community. So I'm responsible for anything entrepreneurship, enterprise related. So the Enterprise Olympics program, which we call EO for short, has been around for 31 years this year, and the YMCA business planning program has been around for quite some time as well.
Oh,
31 years this year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time, and that's a lot of businesses that would have gone through that program.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's get into what is this program?
So the EO program is a program designed to empower and introduce the concept of entrepreneurship to youth in the province through grades 4 to 12 to identify gaps in their community and then build businesses to fill those gaps. And so I work with students from a grade 4 class, teaching them to create a logo, all the way up to grade 12, where by the time they're finished that program, they have a fully written and ready to use business plan.
Okay, so I'm thinking back to like when I was in the 4th grade. I would never have thought there are things out there that exist in community that could lead me past the path of working for someone else to working for myself. So what is it like when you have 4th graders who are coming into your program being like, I can own my own business?
So the 4th graders and any of the folks in our Community Matters, which is our junior high program, and then our elementary program, Create a Logo, it's like their passion and ideas are limitless. So they'll just come up with something so quick. It's not like when I'm working with high school students where you have to dig a little bit deeper to figure out and figure out their confidence and wanting to come up with that idea. At the younger ages, they just, well, like, of course I'm going to open up my own business, and my mom does this, or my grandfather did this, and they want to open up a cupcake shop, or they want to work for a government agency, they want to run for president one day. So they have all these limitless ideas, and they just come up with it by figuring out, well, what does their community already have that maybe they could do better, or what does their community not have? So this program is a province-wide program, meaning that I work in all the nooks and crannies of Newfoundland and Labrador in the rural and remote communities where students may only have one convenience store and one place to buy clothing. So there's so many ideas of businesses they could open.
Okay, that's so much cooler than I could even have begun to dream about. So this program runs from grade 4 all the way up until grade 12. But what exactly is the Olympics part of it?
So that's a really good question. It's my favorite part of the program. It's what we gear up all year for. So at the high school level of the EO program, we host an annual conference where 15 high school students from schools all across the province get to come to our conference, and they get to participate in networking events. They get to form mentorships with local entrepreneurs. They get to meet people who work within the ecosystem, the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and meet people who support entrepreneurs. They get to participate in a local bus tour and get to see behind the scenes of some local businesses here. And they also get to participate in an expo event where they showcase their business ventures to invited guests from the public, and then get to find out who wins one of our provincial prizes at the awards ceremony.
Okay, so that's like, they get really like hands-on, nitty-gritty experience from how does it start to this is my business, here it is out in the world. So what have been some of like the businesses that have surprised you that have come out of these Olympics?
Oh, there's so many amazing ideas. So I've been supporting the Enterprise Olympics program for 3 years. This is my 3rd year in that role, running that conference. And I remember in the first year, we had an awesome student from Torbay here on the Avalon who saw that a lot of people going to Middle Cove Beach and Topsail Beach in the summer wanted firewood, but didn't want to have to chop it up themselves and bring it themselves. So they had a private land that their family owned. So they decided to chop it up from their private land, prepare it in milk crates, and then deliver it to people at Middle Cove Beach and Topsail Beach. So shout out to Waterman's Firewood. It's a family business. Them and their brother have been doing it for quite some time. So they're still in operations, which is really great to see. And then we had some pretty cool businesses last year, tech related, looking at photo imaging apps and figuring out how they could scale their knowledge beyond high school in the tech industry to be able to launch a business that's totally online based. So we've seen everything from firewood to apps in the Enterprise Olympics.
Okay, that's a really big firewood to app. Wow, okay. So for people who are watching now saying, I think I want to be part of this. Maybe I'm not quite sure if I want to be registered and go through the Olympics, but I want to see what this is about. Where are we going? What are we doing? How do we get involved?
Absolutely. So if you're just a guest that would love to come and check out the student entrepreneurs that we have this year, if you would like to see what the YMCA Enterprise programs are all about, our 31st annual YMCA Enterprise Olympics Conference is taking place this year on May 30th and May 31st at the Holiday Inn Express Hotel in St. John's by the airport. So we have a 2-day jam-packed conference agenda with different events. The students will be in and out of that venue and looking at different local businesses on the bus tour. But on the second day, which is our big day of day 2, we host a student entrepreneur expo event where 15 of these high school students with different ideas, businesses ranging from tech-based to storefront to brick and mortar to doing it at home, are all going to be there showcasing their ideas with their own setup at a table. And they're also going to have a chance then to practice their own self-marketing and promotion for their business. And it's a great opportunity to come see what they've created.
Okay, so that's really exciting. I can only imagine what the students who are, the participants who are going to be part of this must be thinking and how excited they must be about this event. But for those who are watching who are like business people who have been in industry for years and years, who are like, I want to help, I want to support, I want to mentor and sponsor students who are going through this, what is available for them in this?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Laurabel. So this, because we are a nonprofit organization, we have so many sponsorship opportunities for our event. Our main funders of the program are Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency and the Department of Education and the Department of Industry, Energy and Technology with the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, and they support us through this program from beginning of school year to end. But with this conference, there's so many other opportunities for local business owners or organizations that want to support entrepreneurs entrepreneurs to be involved as well. And so we have our mentor luncheon, which is where we have students speed networking with entrepreneurs. So if an entrepreneur wants to volunteer their time, come share their insights with these students. If we have someone who would like to cater, help us cater that luncheon and sponsor that meal, that's an opportunity for a sponsorship there. We also have our 3 provincial prizes for these students. So 3 of those 15 students will win up to $1,500 for their business venture. And those prizes are always up for sponsorship opportunities for a local business or organization to support a youth entrepreneur.
Okay. So the opportunities basically are endless. If you want to be part of this program, whether you want to be a participant or you want to sponsor and mentor youth, there are opportunities there for you. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit more to going overall with the WISE programming for business venture and entrepreneurship. What happens for the youth coming up, the ones who haven't quite made it to the Enterprise Olympics? How can we support them there?
Yeah, so we have another program at the YMCA that is entrepreneurship focused that I am now in the new role of as a business consultant, which is really exciting to grow my role at the Y, which is the business planning program. And this is for entrepreneurs aspiring or already operating 19 plus in the province who may be looking for a free, commitment-free business planning support, which is exactly what we offer. So I do one-on-one personalized guidance for business plan development. We do monthly training opportunities, networking events at the YMCA, and all of this is delivered across the province, both virtually and in person, to reach someone who might need support in launching their passion and figuring out, where do I go next with this business idea? That's what we're here for.
Awesome. So I got you for about 1 more minute. For those who are watching who are like, maybe I have a business idea, maybe I know someone who has something, what do you want them to know about why the Y exists and how the Y can support them through this journey?
So the YMCA is here to support everyone in community through our EANS programming, our Employment, Enterprise, and Newcomer Services area. And in terms of entrepreneurship itself, we can help someone starting out when their young minds are just forming at grade 4, all the way up to someone in their 50s or more. And so if you have an idea and you want someone who's going to be in your corner advocating for that idea to launch, or you want to grow and success in a business, that's what we're here for. And you can reach out to me at the YMCA.
Okay, where do we find you, Jess?
You can find me at jess.jones@nl.ymca.ca, or you can reach me on the YMCA of NL Facebook page, YMCA of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Perfect. So there are resources for entrepreneurs, long-standing business people, and newcomers who are looking for their first step in employment.
That's right.
Well, Jess, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad to know that the YMCA exists in a way to support community in such a broad respect. I can't wait to see you at the Enterprise Olympics because I know it's going to be a time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I can't wait to have you there.
And we'll be right back, everyone.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Lori Ross, who is a pelvic health physiotherapist. Lori, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm super excited to have you here because you and I met a while ago, but I've always been amazed by the cool work you do when it comes to pelvic floor health as a whole. So for our viewers who don't know what pelvic floor health is, can we start there?
So, well, pelvic health, the pelvis itself, is this little thing here. So pelvic health, or pelvic floor physiotherapy, as we sometimes call it, is basically, I guess, for physiotherapists that treat muscles, joints, ligaments, the whole works, which comprises the pelvic floor. So pelvic health is part of, I guess, our entire system and needs to be functioning properly as well.
So for a lot of people, I guess most people don't think about physiotherapy and what a physiotherapist does till they need a physiotherapist. But I know in a lot of this work you do, you also teach people about preventative care and how to care for your pelvis and your entire pelvic health before something happens where we call you and say, Lori, I need help.
Yes.
So what does that kind of look like for people?
Well, our pelvic floor has many different functions. one that people don't think about is it's actually a core stabilizing muscle. So it works along with your diaphragm, your deep core muscles in the front and in the back to provide almost like a cylinder, a core cylinder. And before we go to do anything, studies have shown that these 4 muscles activate together to stabilize our core, so that then when we go to move a body part, we're working from a stable base.
Oh.
So in a lot of cases, we're taught for years to hold our core tight, suck things in when we're at the gym. We wear tight clothes. We have babies pushing up, pushing down at the same time. We kind of lose that connection between all of the parts. And when a part of that system fails or is not working properly, we lose, I guess, pressure in our abdomen. We lose that control, and that can result in things like leaking urine or pain during intercourse. It can cause hernias, indigestion, back pain, abdominal pain. It kind of throws everything off. So one of the things we work on is making sure that system is working properly and coordinating those muscles together. Other things like constipation, super common. A lot of people are dealing with it and have no idea what exactly is happening to their pelvic floor. Essentially straining is straining these muscles, and these muscles are fairly small. They support a lot of organs. The more you strain, the more the muscles may stretch, the more issues you may develop, like hemorrhoids, fissures, prolapses, things of that sort. So we like to get a handle on that before that becomes a long-term issue that they may have to deal with.
See, as you're talking, I would never have even thought of my pelvis being connected to any of the other muscles in like my diaphragm area. So I never knew that it was core stabilizing, because well, yeah, when you're at the gym, you hold in and you suck, but I never think below my belly button as any part I need to worry about when I'm doing all that. So that's super cool to know.
So the other interesting thing is the diaphragm and the pelvic floor sit one directly above the other. So the diaphragm is under our lungs, and when we take a deep breath in, as the lungs fill with air, the diaphragm drops. Well, the 2 muscle groups work together to control abdominal pressure. So when you go to take a deep breath in, as the lungs are filling, if that pressure is to stay the same, the pelvic floor actually needs to lengthen. And when you breathe out, as the air leaves the lungs, the diaphragm comes up, the pelvic floor contracts. So the 2 move together to control pressure. If you're at the gym and you're holding things tight the whole time, if you're holding your core tight, you can't take a deep breath. If you can't take a deep breath, the diaphragm's not moving, your pelvic floor's not moving. So a lot of those activities, especially if you lift heavy weight, are putting a lot of strain on your pelvic floor, and that pressure's coming down through. So one of the things we work with people on is coordinating the breathing during function as well, so that the diaphragm, the pelvic floor can do what they're supposed to do. If everything's always held tight, they're not going to have time to relax and retighten when you actually need them to stabilize things.
So when I think pelvic floor health, that's really cool to know now, because I know a lot of people are getting ready to go into their gym season and getting ready for the summer, and they would not think while they're holding everything in that if they're not doing it properly, they could potentially cause problems later down the road when it comes to pelvic floor health. So that's super cool. Another misconception that I've been trying to understand, when people typically think pelvic floor care, we're usually hearing it postpartum for a lot of women about that. But pelvic floor health is not just a woman's thing, it's a human thing, correct?
Definitely.
Okay, so what are, I guess, for men and women, what are some of the differences when we're preventative care to keep our pelvises healthy?
With men, I'd say the majority of the male population I would see would be post-prostate surgery. So if they've had their prostate removed due to cancer, sometimes even enlarged prostates can create issues with their ability to empty their bladder. If they have a lot of pain, sometimes when we have pain, we tend to tighten to protect things. So I may work with that population on relaxing their muscles. Generally, after prostate surgery, our goal is actually to strengthen. So when that's removed, they lose the inner body's ability to control the urine as it comes out. So my job is to teach them how to strengthen and activate those muscles to get them back to feeling like they have some control. We can also treat things like erectile dysfunction. Men deal with constipation as well, so it may deal with those issues. And sometimes just generalized pelvic pain. which could, I guess, encompass a whole range of issues.
And then for women, when it's caring for our pelvic health, what are some of the things that you end up supporting people with in that respect?
As in like various...
Yeah, so like the way men usually are teaching them to strengthen after prostate. So for women, what are we working on? Flexibility? Are we working on strengthening? What is it for us in those situations?
A bit of everything. Strengthening is generally probably the most common, but strengthening isn't for everyone. So a lot of times I find if someone's having a pelvic floor issue like leakage or constipation, people are like strengthen, strengthen, strengthen. But some cases, our problems that our muscles are too tight. Okay. So we see it sometimes with competitive athletes, people who've dealt with chronic constipation or bathroom avoidance, things of that sort, sometimes traumatic issues, or even skin conditions. It can lead to a lot of tension in the muscles. And when they're already tight, we don't want to strengthen those muscles anymore because it can actually cause more pain and dysfunction. So generally in those cases, we actually work on teaching people how to relax the muscles, how to get things kind of moving again, and how to control that themselves.
Okay. This is so cool because I think we've always been told strengthen, 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 like Kegels, all of that stuff, but a lot of people might not know relaxing might be, and flexibility of that area is also important depending on what's going on with you pelvic health-wise.
Definitely.
Okay. So cool. We're adding to my checklist of ways to make sure that 2024 is a healthier year for me. So for those who are watching now who are like, something's up, I know something just isn't feeling right and I'm experiencing pain, but they're very afraid to make that first phone call to reach out. What would you like to share with them about, I guess, getting over that initial hurdle of saying, I need help?
Generally, we can be extremely supportive. Basically, we try to make the appointments what you want them to be. So we don't force anyone to do any sort of assessment. We put the ball in their court. In order to assess certain things, we may need to look at the pelvic floor itself, but it's not something we have to do right away. Usually we wait until somebody's comfortable with us. If someone is curious of whether or not it's a pelvic floor issue, they can just give us a call. Or send an email. So sometimes people will call and just leave a message and I'll call back and they'll tell me their issues and I'll let them know if it's something I can actually help with, and if I can't, I'll hopefully be able to help them or guide them to what they do need. And it's a lot more common than people think.
Okay.
Certain generations especially don't tend to talk about these things, and a lot of times people come in thinking that they're the only one suffering from a particular issue. And generally that's not the case. I've been working in this area for a long time and I've seen a lot of things I see recurring again and again. And sometimes I think it helps to get something off their chest and realize that, hey, even I may deal with some of the same issues that they are. Absolutely. And it's possible to have an issue and to recover or be able to manage it.
Okay, I think I really like that statement you just made about recovering. So I think a lot of people, when they have been experiencing pain for a while, we just accept it as, this is it, this is life. I'm going to live with this for as long as I'm here. But to know that with help, with support, that recovery is something that is absolutely possible depending
Definitely.
On how we approach it.
The thing we often say in pelvic health physio is, for instance, incontinence. Incontinence is common, but it's not normal. It's not something that you have to deal with. A lot of issues, for years we've been told that, oh, well, you're a woman, you've had a baby, this is just something you have to deal with, but it's not. If you go through menopause and you have issues, it's the same thing. There are things that we can do to help. We may not be able to fix something, but we can definitely help to improve quality of life.
Okay.
Which is good.
Well, I love having you here because I love sharing time with you, and I always think this work you do is so important and so useful, especially for people who are afraid to make that first phone call or to talk about things, because pelvic floor health is usually related to like genitals and all that. People are sometimes nervous about those kind of conversations.
Yes.
So if people are reaching out, where do we find you, Laurie?
I work at Paradise Physiotherapy. You can find us online. I think the website is on the screen.
No worries.
You can call the clinic, you can email the clinic, and everything's passed down to me. And I either respond myself and answer questions, or the clinic will get them booked in.
Laurie, thank you so much for joining me. I know it's important that pelvic floor health is important for overall health, and I hope this has made the conversation a little bit safer and easier for people who might have been scared to have this chat.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you again soon.
See you soon.
And we'll be right back, everyone. I want to give a very special thank you to all of you for tuning in yet again. And then a thank you to our guests for joining me today. Jess, thank you so much for sharing all that the YMCA is doing to support entrepreneurs. If you're interested in any of their programming, don't forget to check them out. And make sure to check out the Entrepreneur Olympics coming up soon. And thank you to Lori for sharing such important information about our pelvic floor health and letting us know that what we might be dealing with might be common, but it doesn't mean it has to be normal. If you have any questions about your overall physical health and your pelvic floor health, don't forget to check out Paradise Physiotherapy to get your questions answered. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all again next time.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Engine 51, ammo 61, structure fire.
Wednesdays on City TV. Watch 3 back-to-back episodes of the hit franchise with